let's take a look at some of the details that you'll need that may need some refreshing on how to create a fixture plan, place plumbing fixtures, and place the plumbing trunk lines for our preliminary design. There's a preliminary design for our plumbing cold water supply. And it took me about an hour, so I'm going to estimate that you'll take 2 to 3 or 4 hours to do this set of work. So let's take a little look. Let's look at creating a fixture plan. So the first thing we need to do is create a plan view that has plumbing. So we're going to use your latest model that you were working in, and we'll create a new view, a plumbing fixture plan view. Now it's not always done this way. Sometimes you would have a brand new file that you would link your architecture in with, and you would just do the plumbing. It's a very common way that it's done. But we're going to just keep going with the same file. And so we're going to have our P1 plumbing fixture plan. We'll identify the plumbing fixtures, which go in the bathroom, the test pool, chemistry area, machining area, the lobby, and the admin area. Once we've identified what goes in there, then we'll be able to place them. We'll go to our Revit Systems toolbar and we'll place fixtures, lavatories, water closets, eye wash, drinking fountains, and hose reels. Hose reels are not part of our library, so I've given you a family that you can use for those. And remember, lavatories are places where you wash your hands, so it's a sink, but it's one for washing your hands. It's not like a big mop bucket sink or something like that. And water closets are where you go to the bathroom. So it's a toilet. Could be a urinal also, but usually it's a toilet. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to place what we call the trunk line. And it's just a big pipeline that's going to carry water from one end of the building to the other. We don't even really care exactly where it's placed. It's a schematic more than anything else. And so we'll just kind of draw it down somewhere through the middle of the building. And then we'll look at the branches that come off of it later on. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to use, and you'll see that we're going to use something called placeholders, pipe placeholders. So let's go to our thing, and this is what it'll end up looking like. You don't even need to put it on a sheet, but you might wish to. It's just called a worksheet, and you can see that there's a big line, and there's some numbers, and there's some little things in there that are probably the fixtures and things like that. So let's go ahead and start looking at that. So the first thing we need to do, I'm going to collapse all this coordination and mechanical stuff, is you'll take one of your floor plans from HVAC and you'll make a duplicate of it and turn it into a plumbing floor plan. Okay, so I think you know how to do that already, but let's go take a look and see some of the things that you'll have to set. So for me, I use 3/32 of a foot equals an inch. It could even show up a little bit bigger on your page. Visibility and graphics, make sure that you can see piping. Pipe accessories, pipe fittings, pipe insulations, placeholders. Pipe placeholders, that's important. We're going to use those. Pipes and the like. Okay. But we're going to use pipe placeholders for now. So that's your visibility and graphics. Our discipline is plumbing, and that means there's only one choice. Your subdiscipline is also plumbing. Then as we move down, we want to make sure that our view range, for what we're going to do, we'll just set everything for unlimited. And I just set the offset 8 foot, 9 foot, something like that. Just something where you can see things okay. And let's see if there's anything else. Be sure that you're in new construction. So that's how to set up your thing. And then I've just got to look and see, where do I want things. I need something in these bathrooms. I need a lavatory and a sink, a lavatory and a water closet. And then I need an eye wash station somewhere, so I put one over here where people can get to it. Like, this area is kind of mucked up and confused, but that's mostly where somebody would need an eye wash, so I wanted it somewhere close. I did end up putting a drinking fountain in the lobby, even though before I said I was not going to. I was just going to use, um, you know, bottled water. But even if I don't put it in there, I think it's a good idea to have that pipeline in there. And then these hose reels are all over the place. And I should also in here have some sort, I didn't put it in yet, some sort of way to fill up this huge pool. So that's going to be a big, some sort of a big faucet of some sort. Okay. I'll either need a bathtub faucet or two on this wall, or some other big faucet that I can load water into here, because this is a pretty big thing, and it might take an hour or two, even at 5 gallons a minute. You know, 5, 10 gallons a minute, 100 gallons, 1,200 gallon tank is not all that big, so I'll probably need a couple of good sized faucets to that. And I might need its own kind of like big line coming in over to it. Although this 2-inch line should suffice. If I need more than that, just take a little bit longer to fill that up. So that's how you go about figuring out what you need. And there's no real documentation for that part. Your documentation should just be that you've got this fixture plan. Okay. And then just identify what needs to go in there. And then you're going to place your plumbing fixtures. Okay, and that's using your Revit. So that you pretty much know how to do, right? You go to your systems and place plumbing fixtures. And if you don't have one, then you go get it. Now there's one that you're going to have to go get, which is this hose reel. So I've put it in there already, but you can load the family. I have it in the, let me go find it for you. I put it, it'll be in the Google Drive, and it's in the instructor drive. So if you can't find it, it's in the instructor drive, week 12. And there's a floor tap. So that might be something that we need too. And this hose reel. Okay. A floor tap would be good to put in also. Let's go ahead and try that. Let's try it with a floor tap. Load family. Go find it. It's in the instructor files under my name, spring 3/30/12, and let's add that floor tap. And oh, where did it go? There it is, right there. And then you can put them in. Here it goes. So I'm gonna put them along this edge over here. Nah, because you're gonna need access to that. I think that these might be in a poor place, but I'm gonna put them over by the eye wash. So I'll put one in there, and then I'll rotate it, and that just indicates that I'll have a floor tap there, and I better move it because it's supposed to go into there. It goes right like that, and I can leave one, but I might make two of them just for fun. Now I've got two floor taps. Okay, so and I'll show you more as we go. So those are uh, pretty heavy duty ways to fill up this. And there's an eye wash station, a hose reel, a water closet, a lavatory. Over here, I've got a drinking fountain. There's not a huge amount of different types of water things that go in here, but there's plenty of them in there. And so just figure out where you might need to have water to spray things down or wash things down or things like that. So that's what you're doing there. You're gonna use it and you'll place them and then place the plumbing trunk lines. And there's really just one trunk line, and that's this one. And notice I didn't put it in any particular place. Usually there's what's called a public connection or a purveyor's connection in the front of a building, somewhere in the front of the building. And so I just put one in the front of the building and I ran it down, and it can be anywhere. It can be moved over without a problem. Doesn't really matter. These are just kind of like lines that I've drawn to show where things go. Okay, and I have it running at 8 feet. Often it could even run on the roof or near the ceiling, and just a big pipe running along there. And so for what we're doing, it doesn't really matter exactly where it goes. Okay, just somewhere running down the thing. And that is this pipe placeholder. And it goes just like the other ones, right? You can pick a size, 3 inch, you can pick a middle elevation, and then you just draw it in. And that's often done when you're just trying to get a schematic together so that some work can get done and start doing some calculations. So that's our activity one. It's it's only 4 hours. If you're having a hard time, it's probably 2 or 3 hours because you'll have to think things through and figure out where you want certain items. Okay. So there we go. That's our activity one of the assignment guide for week 12 in Design 330.